Now that 2023 is almost over, I wanted to take stock of everything I've learned this year and try to see what habits really helped me become a better artist. I'm not the type of person to set crazy New Year goals or resolutions or anything because honestly, I'm normally in a perpetual state of trying to accomplish a million things at once. But I do like to take a retrospective look towards the end of each year and see how far I've come, what I've done well, and what I could do better. With that in mind, I've compiled 5 habits or practices that I believe have, in general, made me a better artist. Prioritizing personal projects. The first habit that I want to talk about is learning how to say yes when it comes to personal projects and ideas that are near and dear to you. Prioritizing personal projects over things that are trendy or that you think might get more views and likes is actually a lot easier said than done. We often make excuses when it comes to taking a leap of faith on something that's 100% our own creation because it's a scary and daunting task. The first 3/4 of this year, I focused a lot on making things that I was hoping would grow my social media presence and get more subscribers on YouTube, while putting some of the more time-intensive passion projects that I've been wanting to make on the back burner. While there were some upsides to this approach, I found that I was feeling burnt out when I was pushing myself to make all the different types of videos, media, posts, etc. I found myself hitting a wall and asking, why does any of this matter? What do I really want to make? Wouldn't it be better if I just tried my hardest to make the things that mean the most to me? And if it works out, great, but if it doesn't, at least I'm doing what I want? Having a heart-to-heart with myself, I decided to shift the amount of time I was working on those passion projects from about 30% up to 70%. I still left time for all the other ideas and projects I wanted to work on from a more logistical and artist who's online perspective, but I swapped the percentages so that those less important projects were now the ones on the back burner. So far, this has been fulfilling, and I've been pushing myself artistically in order to achieve those goals, which is something I wasn't doing before. It's a constant struggle to keep up with though, so if you're struggling with managing your time, don't worry, you're not alone. Regular physical exercise. Sound body, sound mind. The second habit is one that I've been doing for the past few years, but one that I've incorporated even more into my weekly routine in 2023. I go on 2 to 3 runs a week, normally on my lunch breaks or right when I finish work, and do small little bodyweight exercises throughout the week to always have some kind of physical exercise that I have to do. And let me tell you, if I had to pick one thing that's helped maintain my creativity and well-being over the past 5 years, this would be it. Regularly exercising, especially doing cardio like running outside regardless of the weather, has been crucial to my mental and physical health. If you're someone like me who mostly works from home during the week, hunched over a computer screen, doing tasks that can leave you stagnant for hours at a time, I cannot recommend this one enough. I'm lucky enough that I have somewhat flexible hours and can go on a run during my lunch break, but even when I was working 9 hours a day at a kindergarten, I still found time to run when I got home in the evenings or on the weekend, so there's really no excuse for this one. The best part about this habit too is that once it becomes a weekly routine, you start to crave it. You'll want to go on a run so that you can get that dopamine rush, feel refreshed, and know that you're actively doing something to stay healthy. For me, I go on runs so that I can stay sane and get rid of some of the stress that accumulates over the days and weeks of constantly being online, dealing with pressures of everyday life, and just to let off some steam. Not only that, but I tend to think of all of my best creative and story ideas while I'm running outside, music blasting, just putting one foot in front of the other. When I can close off the outside world and just really focus on the simple task of getting from point A to point B, it lets my mind wander and allows me to internalize my thoughts. If you're someone who has never tried this or doesn't think that exercise is necessary, I encourage you to give it a try. Even just going on a daily walk or something simple like that will have positive effects. Practicing fundamentals. The third habit is more in line with your typical how to get better at art approach. One thing I noticed I was slacking on the past year was working on my drawing and animating fundamentals. I had gotten into a good habit of gesture and figure drawing last year, improving quite a bit, but unfortunately got burnt out and felt like I was losing myself to wanting to get better technically instead of working on things like style and creativity. In order to balance this out, I started having a lot of fun exploring different styles and working on making my own distinct art style. But I let it go too far the other way and was now lacking in the studying and practicing department. One thing I've started doing more recently is daily warm-ups with gesture drawing or figure drawing and learning how to apply what I'm studying to the creative work I'm currently doing. For example, if I'm working on animation with a character using a sword, the warm-ups and studies I would do while working on that project would be of samurai poses or sword studies. This has helped me not fall into the monotony of feeling like I'm just going through the motions with fundamentals practice, and also has the added benefit of encouraging me to properly research and use references for the things I'm working on. Don't wait, just start. The fourth habit is a mantra I've been practicing for the past 6 months or so. This came from an idea I had from a Doodle Talk podcast I was doing, and has helped me focus and create a lot more things this year than I would have otherwise. While it's a simple phrase and something I'm sure you've heard countless people say, it's powerful. The way I like to look at it so that it adds more context for me personally is that if you tackle some of those daunting projects that you've been holding off on or running away from, you'll see that it was really never as hard as you thought it would be, and that even if you fail, you get better and learn from those experiences. Pressuring yourself to sit down and just get started on that animation or drawing or song that you've been wanting to make will get the ball rolling, and once you get started, the hardest part is already over. This phrase is especially true for anyone who has been wanting to get into a certain craft or medium that they've never tried or only occasionally dabbled in. If you've always wanted to do something but felt too scared to try, keep this in mind. Don't wait, just start. Stay inspired, stay motivated. Shizuka ni ganba. Okay, so this last habit is more of a mindset than anything else, but it's something that has kept me driven and motivated over the years, and something that I think I've internalized and brought forth a lot this past year. A few years ago, I was watching a short little documentary about a Japanese artist and animator who was going over some of his daily routines. At one point, he mentioned the phrase shizuka ni ganba, which, when translated literally, means something to the effect of quietly striving or quietly giving your all. This phrase really struck a chord with me. Having a mantra or an idea like this in a language I'm still learning and that isn't my native tongue somehow made it feel more powerful. Like it was some Harry Potter spell or something to the effect of Gandalf speaking friend in Elvish to enter the minds of Moria. If you know, you know. We live in such a saturated world of amazing and talented artists and people who broadcast themselves to millions of people every day. Every time we open up Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok, it's so incredibly easy to feel like our voices will never be heard, or our art will never be seen and appreciated, or that in order to achieve success, we have to subscribe to this breakneck speed of churning out content for the algorithm overlords in order to keep them satiated. Returning to the phrase shizuka ni ganba has been a cornerstone for me, especially this past year. To me, it's a mindset that means that as long as you're constantly striving towards your goals, doing the things that you know you need to get done, and not letting the outside world affect your peace of mind, then you can and will achieve what you set your mind to. I hope that you found this video helpful. These are just some things that have helped me and things that I want to bring into 2024 to keep improving. I know everyone works differently and not every artist will find the same habits useful, but I hope at the very least 1 or 2 of them might seem like something you'd like to try. And if you have any tips or habits that have helped you over the years, let me know down in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.